losing it September 26th, 2006. Today my current weight is 428, 6 pounds more than about a couple weeks ago. I've put on some pounds, and today I'm going to try and explain that. Some of the reasons that I'm making these videos are, first and foremost, it helps me to keep things in perspective. Someday, back when I was doing well on the diet, I would get hungry and then I would just eat a granola bar and I would make a video for about 2 or 3 hours. And once I was done making the video, my thoughts would not be on food anymore. So there's one thing. And then secondly, all the interaction with YouTube and all the other people that are trying to lose weight, that's incredibly inspiring. And then the third thing is, I hope that in some way I'm inspiring other people. You know, I'm sort of doing this for my own posterity and for other people that are trying to lose weight to look back on the video start to finish and say, wow, it can be done. Yeah, you went through a lot of hills and valleys or whatever. I wasn't gonna do a video all about pity me, all my problems, but I think it's important for people that do fit into that last category to maybe relate to. And it was looking like I was going to have to buy a new one. And at the time, I was actually saving up a little bit of money for school. Normally, I apply for financial aid, and so I normally pay for school. But this is my 5th year going, and I was pretty much only wanting to take a class so I could participate in the theater department. So I was just going to pay out of pocket for this one acting class. And since I needed to fix my car, buy a new car, or whatever, that pretty much put school and theater out of the question. And that's what really got me bummed initially. I still am really bummed about that, but anyway, it was looking like I was going to have to buy a new one. But then my mom's boyfriend took a look at the car and he said, oh, the timing chain is actually what the problem is. This can be fixed. Your whole engine's not cracked or anything like that. So I was like, sweet. There was the option of fixing it, but I still just wanted to buy a new car because I've had some problems with the car in the past. And he also said, he lives in Ohio, and he said that there's a lot near him and they had some pretty good running cars for pretty cheap. So we took a trip up to Ohio and looked at the cars, and the car that was in my price range, they couldn't even get it started. When we first got there, the tires were all flat, and that just turned me off. I've had a lot of car problems in the past. The car I'm currently driving now, the car that's currently dead, is about my 5th or 6th car. I started off driving a little red Cutlass Sierra, and then I bought my mother's blue Aerostar, the Aerostar Destroyer, as some called it. I like to call it the Beast, after the Beast and the X-Men. I drove that for a good 2 years, my senior year in high school. That was probably my sweetest vehicle I've had. Then after that, I think I was driving a little green car. I keep getting my mom's hand-me-downs. Like, I bought the van from her, and with that money she went out and bought this little green other car. And then once that started breaking down, she got a nice van, which she's currently driving, and I started driving the green car. Then that broke down a year later, and that's when my grandfather was good enough to buy me this other little red car. It was a Firebird, and that lasted for about a year until last summer when that started really fucking up. Oh man, all last summer I probably sunk about $600 or $700 in that thing fixing the alternator. That thing never drove right. And then last summer, my mom's boyfriend, he's been a really cool guy. He bought me this Volvo. Apparently only cost him $200. I bought it from a friend. It worked out really well for me. The brakes were really loud, but other than that, it's driving pretty well. And that's the car that's currently broke. So with seeing as my history, I just didn't want to buy another bomb that I was going to have to sink another $600 or $700 into to get it finally running. So I just said, you know what, no. My brother was there with me as well. He had a little bit more money than I did. He bought a car that was a little bit better than the one I was looking at, and that's what he's currently driving. And so Right now, the only way I'm making ends meet is borrowing my brother's car and my mother's van, and I'm not able to work as many hours. I'm only working like 2 or 3 days a week now, because that's the only times I can borrow the vehicles. So I had a nice little chunk of change set away. I've got about 400, 500 bucks now, and my mom's boyfriend says that he can fix it. He bought the manual for the car. He's really good with cars, so he's going to buy the parts. I'm going to pay him back for the parts, and he's going to take the car back to Ohio, fix it up, because apparently it's a pretty big job. Him and his buddy are going to work on it for me, apparently free of charge, which is friggin' awesome, and he's going to bring it back. So that's really freaking awesome. This has pretty much got me back in sort of a pretty positive mindset, but I'm still not being able to work currently. So how does this relate to my eating? I'm just gonna do the best I can to psychoanalyze myself. Most of it's just because I'm a big fat baby and I think I deserve to eat because my life is so hard.
Can I read one, which I think, if all men were to bring their miseries together in one place, most would be glad to take each his own home again, rather than take a portion out of the common stock. It's saying, for the first time, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Don't look over your neighbour's fence and go, oh, he's got a better car than me. Oh, he's got a more attractive wife.
I think that's pretty true. But to me, the problems seem like they're the biggest thing in the world. A year down the line, they'll just be another thing to laugh at. Oh, I forgot the best part of the story. I was finally Wednesday, about a week ago. My attitude was finally positive. Seemed like I could see the horizon. Things were going great. This new Super Walmart opened, and I was all excited. Me and my buddies were going to go up to the Super Walmart and check it out. And lo and behold, I get pulled over. And this happened to me about the same time last year, driving the other red car, the Firebird. Right about the same time of the year, and it really set me back. At that time, I'll tell you a little fun story. I was driving while my license was expired. I had turned 21 that year, and that was the year my license was going to expire. My birthday's in June, and I'm pretty stingy when it comes to shit like that. First off, I missed the date because I'm stupid, and secondly, if you miss the deadline, it costs $25, and I just couldn't justify spending $25 on something that was basically conceptual. I don't know if you understand my meaning on that, but I just couldn't justify giving $25 in my pocket for just something written on a piece of paper. So I was always just putting it off, and bit me in the ass this day. I got pulled over. I was delivery driving. It was about 12 o'clock at night. I was coming back from a delivery. I knew there was one waiting for me at Jets, so I was speeding, and I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. So as I pull into Jets, a cop follows me in, and I'm like, oh shit. He asked me for my license. Thank God he didn't ask me for my insurance. Well, he asked me for my insurance. I said, it's going to take me a second to find it. And he said, no, never mind, just give me your license. Thank God, because there was no insurance on the vehicle at the time. But he got back to his car and wrote me up 3 tickets, one for driving while license expired, one for speeding, and one for